an event where Red Bull calls out people for just a second. My slide share isn't working.
I can see it on my
Okay.
side.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, Red Bull Basement is a call for students to empower them for their bold new ideas and implement their tech solutions to make their campuses and the world a better place. So Red Bull Basement, I'll quickly tell you how it works. So it's an event where we invite university students in a team of 1 or 2 people, and they tell us about their tech-based solutions that create a tangible impact for a brighter future. And so Red Bull Basement is not a competition, but we still have a winner of Red Bull Basement. So the students from all over the world can apply, and there will be one global winner, and we'll be having different winners category wise. So how you can apply by making a 1 minute video explaining your idea, and there will be different rounds of social voting, and then you'll be judged by a local and a global jury, and one national finalist from every country will be selected. So this idea goes to the international event, and here's the timeline of how Red Bull Basement is going to work. So this is a Red Bull Basement Launchpad event. We have been doing such Launchpad events since September 1. That is when the first Launchpad happened, and the applications we are allowing applications till 25th of October. Uh, After that, so today is what I guess 18th or 19th of October. We are allowing the applications till 25th of October, and after that we'll be having a voting phase, and then the development phase. I'll take you through those phases soon. So yeah, the application phase, which is going on right now, we have been doing activations like these in 37 countries through online and offline events, and after which we have a voting and selection phase where your ideas are being voted for, and they'll go to the jury for selection. Then we'll be having a development phase where you will be given mentoring, funding, and workspaces for developing your idea. And after that, we'll have a global workshop, the main event, Red Bull Basement, where you'll be able to pitch your idea in front of the international jury. So this is a short video of last year's winners. This is a very creative idea where these guys, Energy Word, they decided to create a system where they can create energy by people walking on their device. So when people walk on their device, it creates energy, and they can use the energy for charging phones, laptops, and lighting bulbs. So who better than they themselves explaining the idea? So let's go through the video. Is it audible?
No, I can't hear it.
Can anyone from the YouTube live part uh, confirm if it's audible? Anyone who's watching it on YouTube? Anyone from the team? Guys?
No, sir, your video is not audible on the YouTube live. Your presentation is not emitting any
Yes,
video audio.
Okay.
Anyone who's watching it on YouTube?
Yeah, I just checked on what YouTube it's.
Anyone from the team?
Okay. Cool. Then I'll be explaining the video. So basically, it is like how I said. It is uh, an idea where it's basically a device which is placed on the ground, and when people walk through it, it creates energy. These guys are planning to take it further by applying it to outside their campus. This was a pilot project running inside their campus. And after Red Bull Basement, they were given a chance by Google Build for India initiative, which is also supported by Gujarat government of India. And yeah, so if the video is not audible, that's it from Red Bull Basement. Along with me, I have a very esteemed speaker for who we are here. I have Aakash Ranison. Sir, if you're there, can you please turn on your video and audio so that yeah. So guys, I would like आप अपने घरों से ही जोरदार तालियों के साथ you welcome him. If this was a live event, we would have welcomed him like that. So Aakash, introducing him a little. Aakash is a 25-year-old traveler, climate change activist, and he's an entrepreneur. A traveler by heart and an entrepreneur by choice. So a great fact about Aakash is that he does not use any single-use plastic-based product. So basically, his entrepreneurship and everything is around saving the climate, around climate change. I have a word for people like this. I would call Aakash a climate change superhero. And we'll be listening to Aakash for a few minutes from now. Over to you, Aakash.
Hey, thank you so much for first of all having me on board and allowing me this opportunity to speak with people out there from KG Sumaya. And it really means a lot to me because as we were having a discussion earlier before this session which we are having now, and I told to the Red Bull team over there as well that hey, I take it as an opportunity that if I can talk to more of the people of my age, because there was a time like few years ago when I was going through a lot of confusion in life. That's we were having a discussion earlier before this session. Let me hear myself back. Cool, thank God. Now I can't. That's good. So there was a time in my life when I was not really able to do things. I was really confused and I was not sure that what is the right way to go for. And at that point of time, I could find someone who could help me move ahead in future. And that's why I feel that I take it as an opportunity that whenever I get to speak with other people of my age who are either in school, either in college, and they're facing the similar difficulty. But also now, before I begin talking more about what we are here to talk about today, which is sustainability, climate change, and entrepreneurship, let me just introduce you all to myself. Who am I and what do I exactly do and why am I here today and why I deserve to be here and talk to you all. So as Manav already introduced, my name is Aakash Ranison. Majorly out there, I'm known for two things. One is responsible traveling and second is climate change. And when I say traveling, so just to give you the excitement I carry along for travel, let me share that how do I travel. So I do not really take a flight from one place to another to go to that place, take photos over there and come back. Instead, rather than taking flights, I cycle. I've cycled more than 20,000 kilometers. My last cycling trip was from Indore, Madhya Pradesh to Bhutan and back to Indore, and a lot of cycling around India. Then I walk a lot. The last walking trip I did was from New Delhi to Nepal, simply just walking New Delhi, Connaught Place to till Thamel in Nepal, Kathmandu. And apart from that, a lot of other walking projects around India. I do a lot of hitchhiking as well, where again, obviously, you know, hitchhiking is taking your backpack, no money at all in your pocket, and then you go from one place to another place, finding odd jobs on the way, doing the jobs, somehow managing to find people to take you from one place to another, and also finding different jobs so that you can make your earn your food for that day and find a place to sleep over there. So I've been traveling like this, but while traveling, I realized that, hey, whichever place I'm going, that is considered to be one of the most beautiful place out there available. That's the reason people are traveling to these places. But also I realized that while visiting these places, that we are really mistreating these places. We are littering around a lot of plastic. We are taking these resources for granted or available at these places, wherein these places are very short on these resources, such as, let's say, Ladakh. Ladakh in all the Himalayan region runs really short on electricity and on water, right? And even when it comes to manufacturing or recycling plants, so that's a very difficult thing, right? And that's a very difficult thing. But how we keep going to these kind of places and keep mistreating, or let's say keep taking things for granted, is really not good. And that's where it came to my mind that, hey, I want to focus on these problem and see if I can be a part of the solution. And that's when I started learning more about the plastic problem. But later on I realized, hey, plastic is a tiny issue. The bigger issue is climate change. And that's when my journey began as a climate activist about 6 years ago. And I started making changes in my life. Just to tell you a little about the climate change activist journey. I'm a vegan. I do not consume dairy product, or I've been a vegetarian from the childhood itself because of the family I was born in. But then when I got to know about climate change, I decided I want to go vegan so that I can cut down on my methane footprints. Then also I stopped using all the single-use plastic. It's pretty easy if you really get into it, but let's not try to talk about that as of now. If in case you want to ask me anything, feel free to let's say drop your comments, drop your questions over there in the comment section, and we'll take it from there. But taking it forward, so I went vegan. I stopped using single-use plastic. I do not own, or I do not even have a license for driving a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, because I do not own one, and nor I think of having one as of now. I do not take flights, and a lot of other things. Like I write regularly about climate change on my own blog or on different platforms such as, let's say, Forbes, Vice, or different media houses I write on. And then I make a lot of videos. I create a lot of photos, pictures, which goes out there. And I do on ground different projects at different locations, such as Spiti Valley, such as Calicut, Kerala, such as different small villages in Himachal Pradesh. And currently I am in Rishikesh, Uttarakhand, doing another project here for 2020. So yeah, that's me in short, as a traveler and as a climate change activist. If there's any question related to any of these verticals, feel free to drop into the comment, and we'll take it forward. And I would like Mano to again take it forward from here.
Yeah, Akash, that's some tremendous feat to not travel by air and travel by cycle. So, Akash, so I would request everyone on the YouTube live to put forward their questions on the comments, and I would request the volunteers from KJ Somaya to put those comments, the questions over here in the chat box. Till then, Akash, so if we talk about basic changes which we can make in our daily lives to help in climate change, so what are some basic things which we can do to start with?
What are the basic things you can do? Let me give you very tiny and good examples which you can really take forward in your life right now. Even if you have 10 minutes, you can start doing it. First is awareness. You need to aware yourself. That's it. Don't think about that you want to change the world. You are the part of the world. Okay. Right? So do not think that, hey, let me go out and fix others. No. We are a part of the world, right? We are creating carbon emission. Can we cut down on our one, right? And if I can cut down on my carbon, and if I decide to cut down my carbon footprints, that's the easiest thing to do. Because going to someone else and convincing them to do it, first of all, we have to convince them and make them believe that it exists, right? But if we are already convinced, it's pretty easy to start doing it. I can just give you a very simple example. I'm sitting on my desk, so it's right here. This is the way I save the plastic, right? These are my chopsticks, stainless steel, so I do not use it again and again. Yeah. That's my straw, so I do not use any bamboo straw or plastic straw again and again. Okay. That's one knife and fork together. Spoon and fork together. I don't use that. Yeah. That's another one which I don't ever use. I don't get to use it, but it's another one with a filter out there. So I can, if in case I want to have a normal tea, I can have it. So, and how easy is it to carry? This easy, right? Right. But you can imagine how many straws, right? How many straws and how many different waste you're gonna create. You can save with this one tiny thing. So it's a very simple step, right? I'm not really trying to ask you to change your life, go vegan, or do anything like that. No, don't take such big steps. Go slow, start slow, and then grow tall, right?
Okay.
And this is what I would say. Get such kind of kit for yourself. That's one easy, very simple step you can take.
Okay. So Akash, when you say you are an entrepreneur by choice, so what is the kind of entrepreneurship you talk about?
So what I try to do here is my let's say expertise lies more on the side of let's say bridging this gap. Let's say we know there's a problem. That problem exists, and that's climate change. The global temperature is rising, and that is rising because of the carbon emission and the methane emission, or let's say greenhouse gases emissions we are continuously doing, and it's a problem now, and that's why the industry which is making this problem has to go off or has to change the way they work, right? And that is where I work. That is where I work in that how these industries which are making a problem, and that is carbon emission or methane emission, can change themselves to come into alignment with sustainable development goals by United Nations, right? Or else if they can't fix themselves, are there new industries which can come in place, or new companies which can come in place and work along with these companies to complete the full sustainability circle? So this is where my focus lies, and I work with different companies, different let's say even currently here in Rishikesh, when I'm spending my time here working on my own project. Parallelly, I'm consulting a hospitality client over here to whom I'm trying to make sustainable. So my part is more on the side of that, not only a business, but it has to be sustainable, and that's how you really make a business last long and create that larger than life impact. Otherwise, obviously, you start, but then you don't have a future vision. Where are you going? And see, at the end of it all, if you're thinking long term, it has to be at least 20, 30, 40 years. And that's how you really go long term. Otherwise, if you start something today, within 5 years, things are going to change drastically when it comes to sustainability and climate change. The way the biggest of the biggest organization like TED, like UNICEF, and UN and everyone is pushing towards sustainability, within 5 to 10 years, things will change drastically. And then the companies won't be able to survive. So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. So my next question is, Akash, was it always like this? Were you always so concerned about climate change, or was it at some point where you realized that no, this needs to be fixed, and then you started doing this?
So I think there were two different phases in life where things changed. One is so when I was in school, I wanted to study computers. I thought that I want to, while I was in 10th, 11th class, I thought that I want to study more and more computers. But for some reasons, I could not, as like I did not have enough finance in my, let's say I did not have enough financial capacity to go attend the course I wanted to, and I couldn't do that. And I left it there.
Okay.
And that's when I started an NGO called the Golden Bird Foundation, which works towards giving free computer education to kids who cannot afford it. So there was first time when doing something social came in my mind. That was the first time. I did do a little few things for environment, which is, let's say, organizing cyclothon, organizing marathon, or organizing plantation drives and all. But that's it. And then I continued my NGO, then I continued my traveling. Then the second phase came 6 years ago, 2014, and when I was traveling. And that's when I realized that, hey, how when I'm traveling to places and I can see that people are mistreating places. And that's when I thought that, hey, if I want to keep traveling, and I knew that, hey, I'm going to travel real long. I'm not really planning to stop traveling in 1 year or anything, that kind of plan. I know that even still today, I know that for next 20, 30, 40 years, I'm going to be just traveling one place to another. I'll be hopping one place to another. So that's why I knew that I'm traveling long. And this is my place now. I don't live in a city. Travel is my place. I go one place to another, and that means global. So I decided that I want to pick up on this global cause, which is climate change, because I'm one of the biggest. I was one of the biggest contributor because I belong to travel industry. The travel industry has the biggest carbon footprint because we are the biggest what do we call fossil fuel burner around the world. We travel a lot. We take flights one place to another. That's why. But then that's what gave me the way. Being the culprit, being the problem, became the opportunity itself, because that gives you the drive to do more.
Okay. So Akash, I've started receiving a lot of questions. We'll go through them, and whichever question you feel like answering, which we can give.
Answer all. Which way you ask, I'll go for it.
Okay. So I'll read the first question. It says, the roads in the cities in India need to be designed for people to walk instead of making them for vehicles to run. This could be the first crucial action towards climate change. Okay, that's more like a suggestion. Do you agree with this?
See, I totally agree. If we do not have the opportunity, let's say today, obviously in India, we do not have a place to cycle. Even if I want to cycle, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Right? I am okay. I want to go my home to my office on a cycle. But it's so difficult. I can't get on a cycle. It's the atmosphere is not right. There's so much pollution. There's not really even also, it's not only the road, but also that in India, people do not really respect someone who's on a cycle. That's a big issue. No matter how rich you are, but if you're on a cycle one day, the other one who's not as rich as you are, you might own a Lamborghini and back at your home, but you decided to go on a cycle today to your office. The other guy who's in a Wagoner, he thinks he's rich today. So first of all, it's our mentality that we need to forget this thing, who is rich, who is not. We have to respect people. First of all, this comes, but now getting back to climate change. Yes, it is important because if you really want me to cycle, I need to have the place to cycle. If you really want me to walk, I need to have a good pathway where I can walk. Even in India, I know when I'm in Bombay or when I'm in a city, even let's say in Rishikesh, if I'm really planning to walk, I have to walk on the same path where people are rushing their car. Right? So it is really unsafe. So that's why I think it's a total valid point that we need the place. So then only we'll be walking. Obviously, if you go to Singapore, you'll feel like cycling. If you go to Amsterdam, you'll feel like cycling because we have the atmosphere over there. People who will respect you. People would understand that, hey, you might be doing good in your life, still you want to cycle. They won't judge you. And I think that's where we get the freedom in both the ways, mentally as well, and also morally as well, that, yeah, it is fine to go and do it. So, yeah, it's a valid suggestion, no doubt.
Okay. So Akash, moving on to my next comment, I would read down. Due to standard of traveling in public transport in India, many people prefer road trips over trains or bus trips. Do you think we can change this?
See, yeah, totally we can change it. See, what I would say here is what's happening here. People are running for money, and they are not really focusing on really building a good enterprise which really respects the consumer, which really respect human. That's it. Let's forget consumer. I'm just saying respecting each other. And see, climate change is a lot about moral. Climate change is we crossing our boundaries. Climate change is we crossing the boundaries created by nature, right? But now coming back to the point that can it be done? Yes, it can be done. See, people are ready to provide, people are ready to pay for the services, but they need the right service. Right? Whenever I am, see, why is Apple able to work? Apple is one of the most expensive brand when it comes to tech, but still it's able to work wherein there's a huge margin gap. If Samsung is here, OnePlus is here, Google Pixel is here, Apple starts here. Still people are ready to forget this gap in between and start from here buying the minimum quality of the phone or minimum storage of the phone. Why? Because they are providing the quality and people want the quality, they will pay for it. So I totally feel that if I get quality and if I know that, hey, I have to pay a little extra, but I'll be safe and I'll be making sure that I am not really emitting carbon, or let's say in a very simple term, I'm not harming nature. When I'm traveling, it's not really creating a problem for somebody else. It is fine. And just for example, I can say from a different industry, you would see that there are brands who are selling, let's say, clothes. And they charge extra, saying that very clearly that, hey, this cotton is organic. We have women workers in different villages who make these clothes by their hands manually, and we want to pay them a fair price. And there are customers these brands have. These are loyal customers who believe in the value of the brand, and they pay extra money. So I would totally say this to whomsoever who asked this question to us. It's a very good question, and I can give you one suggestion in the end. This person or everyone whosoever wants or can take out time should read or watch or listen to this guy called Simon Sinek.
Okay.
Simon Sinek. He has written a book by the name, not one, he has written two books. One is Start With Why. Start With Why. And the second book is Why Leaders Eat Last. Why Leaders Eat Last. Simon Sinek. So you should watch out this guy, listen to him, or read his books. And this will really help you, because what you are saying, this comment or this question was more about believing in your idea and going against the odd. It's not an easy idea, because you will go against a lot of people who are trying to make money, wherein you will stick to your belief.
Yeah. Okay. So Akash, a lot of people, like most of our audience is college students today. So a question relevant to them, that to start with the college campuses, what can be done on the college campuses to contribute to make the campuses sustainable?
So see, I would really
for any student.
Yeah, totally. I would say that, hey, you have a golden opportunity in your hand, because I've never been to a university, I've never been to a college, but I know how the atmosphere in college is. You are really well protected. You have people who listen to you. You don't really need to sell them an idea. You have to tell them that I feel for it. They won't look for an ROI. They would look that whether you really believe in it or not. And the faculties and the let's say officials in college and in university, they would support your dream. They won't look out for a business deal with you. And that's why I feel it's a great opportunity to be in a college or in a university and then trying to do something like this, because it's a very good launchpad kind of a place you have, where you can run your experiments, where you can see whether thing can work out or not. So now I would suggest that, hey, and again, this is also a place where you can test run your coming business, right? Where you can try, let's say, hey, I want to get into solar business. Can I see that? How can I? And also see, at the end of it, it's a business, right? Do not forget, it's a business what you're trying to do. Entrepreneurship, it's a clear ROI thing. How much you invest, how do you get back out of it very clearly. So now if we talk about, let's say, one very basic idea, you want to get into solar energy business in future, right? So how can you solve your campus problem? That can your campus go to 100% green sustainable energy in, let's say, next 5 years to 10 years? And also understand the value of time. No places can't really go sustainable within a day. No, you can't do it. It does take time. It's a slow process. It does take time, and that is fine. And that's the reason even when we talk about sustainable development goals from United Nations, it's not really that, hey, within a year we have to do it. When we decided SDGs in 2015, we took 15 years that, okay, by 2030 we will try to achieve these. So similarly, you have to come up with a timeline. Timeline will take time between years. And now let's say one very basic idea could be, you decided, hey, I want to, as of today, we are consuming 100 watts energy, which comes from a coal company, or which comes from a fossil fuel company, which is making electricity out of coal. Let's say Reliance or BHEL or someone like this. Can we cut down 100 to 70? That's a good goal, right? 30% can be cut down. How do we cut down? We replace the coal energy with the solar energy. So then you can start planning that, okay, if I want to have, let's say, 30 watt of solar energy, how much of panels will I need? Where can I get the panels from? And now also plan the ROI, that if you can propose this to college faculties, that, hey, if we start saving the money, within 3 years, we can recover the cost we would pay to a coal company for these solar panels. After 3 years, our 30% of electricity will be free, right? So You have to come up with a plan which should be concrete, which should be visible and clearly practical, and it does have a reflection of ROI at the end of it. And then you can go to your faculties with this plan. All I would suggest is try to work on these three things. First is a very, very good research. To convince your faculties, one is what you'll need is a very good research. Second, you'll need the right contacts in the market. Do not go with a half plan to them. First, make a very good plan, then reach out to all the companies you think who can provide you these solar panels and these services. It's very easy. You go to Google, write down their name, give them a call, take all the details. They will give you everything. You are a customer. You are going to pay them. You are a prospect customer. Let's say I say you are not really paying them as of today, but you might end up paying them. They would really value you. So give them a call, take all the details. And third, tell them how this plan will save them money. If you are really telling anyone you can save money, why would they say no? I don't see a logic, right?
Yeah.
So think in the terms of business, and they would just say yes, hey, let's do it. And even they would give you support that hey, these kids are so good, they are paying the college fee and then they are saving us money, they are taking us sustainable. What else do we want? And obviously, if you end up doing it, you are giving a PR value to your college, to your institute. Understand, ROI does not always come back in note, right? It can come back into some other form. PR is a big ROI, right? If you go out there getting your college or university printed into magazines, printed into newspapers or online websites, that's a huge PR which costs huge money, right? And if your college comes out into media as a very good positive name, the college is going to get more light and more people looking at the college as the future right choice for myself, that hey, I should study into this college because this college gives me more practical on-ground opportunities to play around, right? So when you're looking at ROI, think wide and create. You don't have to follow the norms which you see everywhere around that, okay, if we invest 10 rupees, we get 11 rupees. You might say, hey, we invest 10 rupees, we get 7 rupees back, and then we get this PR, which is equals to 15 rupees. So now you see it. You're like, well, that's good. Let's do it.
Okay, so I hope everyone listening gets this perspective. And the Red Bull Basement being around entrepreneurship, I would come up to my next question, which is from a comment. I'll read it. India can become world's biggest startup incubator considering our student numbers. Do you think we'll be the ones bringing a pro-environment change in the planet? To the planet.
To the planet. See, I do not doubt on this. But what I would say is that see, it's more like predicting the future, and I do not think that anyone is at the right position today to predict the future, to say it that yes, India will become the pioneer when it comes to green energy or sustainability and will be the one changing the world. And first of all, understand, if India becomes the carbon neutral country, we do not emit carbon, we do not offset carbon, we are like neutral, legit, net zero, right? And now we are not contributing to climate change. It's not really going to stop climate change because the neighboring country are doing it, and it's a global issue. So if we later on come to God and tell them, God, but we are not emitting carbon, don't kill us, God be like, no bro, it's a global issue. Do you understand? You created the country. I do not even know that there's a country. I know there's a earth. So first of all, we have to understand it's a global issue. It can't be solved on a country level. So even if we become one and there are other countries who are not doing good, we are also dying. Right? So it's not really a competition. We can't say that, hey, we are number one, now we are safe. No, we have to call the other people from the list down there to come and join us on the same level, which is carbon neutral, and then going carbon positive, that hey, we are not emitting carbon, we are safe, carbon negative. We have to go carbon negative, that hey, we are not emitting carbon, we are offsetting it, we are planting more trees so that we can store carbon inside and it's not there in the atmosphere out there. And we have to appreciate other countries who are not able to do it. We have to support them. We have to give them subsidiary so that they can cope up with it. They can come on the same ground and also understand these are the poor countries who survive, who go through all of the hardships of climate change, because they are the one. Let's say, for example, South Africa. South Africa is not really a rich country. It's not really developed one, but they are the one who faces the after effects of climate change, right? Because we, let's say, we are, we have the luxury of living in a good hotel, good place. I am living in a good place, right? I don't have to go through things. But let's say if I am creating carbon and if I am buying these clothes, there are people in Indonesia living in a very poor situation. They are going through this rough time, right? So understand, one country doing good in climate change, another country not doing good in climate change will not change any climate change problem. It's still there. It just, you're saying that this country is not creating, that country is creating. It does not save us. It's a global issue. So we all have to do it. We can't compete. We can all come together on the same board. And also, just to point out here, this is why United Nations created 17 sustainable goals. Out of 17, the 17th goal is partnership. Why did they create a goal itself called partnership? Because we have to come all together. It's global warming. It's not Asia, America, or Australia warming. It's not continental. It's not country specific. It's a global. So I think I could bring everyone on the same page and with the same thought process, and also understand it gives you the opportunity that if you come up with an idea, if you start a business, it's a global opportunity. Yeah. Right? Because this problem is anywhere. It's more like COVID-19 vaccine. If you create a vaccine, it's a global demand. It's everywhere. Similarly, climate change is an issue everywhere. If you create a carbon calculator, if you create a machine, let's say, which can just fix at the, let's say, what we call silencer of the car, as like where you are emitting the gases outside your car. And if you can fix it right there, it can collect all of the carbon, hold it in the whatever this instrument is. Later on, you can use this carbon ink. I'm not giving you an idea. It's a real thing which is already happening in Bangalore, right? Okay. There's a friend of mine who already does it, right? It's happening practically there in Bangalore. There are friends of mine who do it. They create tiles we use in our house. They create tiles out of this pollution you are throwing out of your car. So they fix a machine in your car, store all the carbon you are emitting, then use this carbon to print t-shirt, to create tiles, and to create different products. See the idea? So it's called carbon ink. You can even go and Google it, carbon ink, and you'll find.
Okay. So Aakash, when we talk about ideas, do you have any ideas which can be future business plans for like sustainable businesses, See, totally. I can show the avenues to people where they can go and do things, and see, there's no limit to it. Understand, it took us thousands of years to be here where we are today, right? It took us, let's say, somewhere about 100 years to be here when we started industrialization, and today we are here. So for more than 100 years, we built a lot of things. And today we see that all of these things we created, all of them have a loophole, right? What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about textile business? They have a loophole. They are working on silk. It's not sustainable. Why? Because it's not vegan, right? You're killing animals, and killing someone out of this whole life circle is not going to work. You're going to break the life cycle, right? So it's not compatible. It's not going to go long. So that's wrong. You're going to use cotton. Cotton is sustainable. It takes a hell lot of water. Also, if you are farming cotton, you can only have one single set of crop in a year. Okay. So a lot of water, one single crop in a year. Now let's replace cotton with hemp, cannabis. Okay. Right? In a year, you can have thrice the crop. Okay. It will use only 10% of the water used in one single crop.
right? So let's say, for example, if you're using 10 liters, suddenly you're just going to use 1 liter and you're going to save 9 liters of water. So can you imagine, in the percentage wise, it's a huge 90% cut off, right? So that's why hemp, cannabis, it's a very good option. And also to tell you, cannabis is one of the most sustainable crop out there. You can create over 10,000 products from cannabis.
Okay.
You can create a rope. This thing, 100% is made out of cannabis, hemp. This is hemp, right? There's a t-shirt, there's a shirt in my wardrobe that is made out of hemp. You can create a brick out of hemp.
Okay.
Brick, right? You can create what do we call bags, clothes, or thread, anything out of hemp. There is a company called Bohico, Bombay Hemp Company, Bohico. You can go and Google it, learn about it. These guys are doing amazing job. Understand how, and there's another friend, I forgot the name. He's the one who's creating brick out of hemp.
Okay.
Right? And these both guys are Indian. Right? So it's not a far away land thing. Oh, US is doing it because US is a developed country. Laws are like doable. We can have hemp over there, cannabis over there in US. It's easy, Aakash. It's really difficult. No, it's not difficult. It's happening in India. Right? This company called Bohico, they have their farms, cannabis, hemp farm in Uttarakhand where I am. Right? I have visited their farms. I'll be visiting their farms regularly, and I am trying to learn more from them. That how can I have my own hemp farms in future, and I can become the part of this sustainable business, right? So it's a huge opportunity. Look into it if this is something which interests you. So hemp is one good opportunity. If you don't want to get into hemp, another one is veganism. It's a huge industry which is coming up. There are huge brands who are making good money. One name I can tell you, you know this. You obviously know these people too. Genelia D'Souza and Ritesh Deshmukh. They both married a few years ago. Recently, they both started a vegan brand.
Okay.
Right? And there are a lot of other people who are going vegan from India, and they are starting different brands. There are huge investors showing interest into veganism and investing money into it. Like I know people who go to big events looking for the opportunity, where can I invest money? Can you imagine? These people own big businesses out there who have crores of rupees, and I meet them on a regular basis because I go to all of these events and I end up meeting them again, and they are again there to look more better opportunities where they can invest money into vegan businesses. And we can understand, vegan can be clothing. Or recently, I tell you, Adidas came out with a new vegan shoes.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Adidas is trying to come up with more green things. Adidas must have thought something. They must have done some research. That's why they thought that, hey, we need to invest into this market. So now I am telling you that you don't need to invest your money in your research team, because your research is being done by the team of Adidas out there, telling you that there is a scope in market. That's the reason Adidas is coming up with the vegan product. That is why there are other companies which are coming with vegan product, right? Big hotels. Recently, I got to know Vistara and Emirates. They introduced vegan food options into their menu, right? So now you don't need a market research team, because you can use the research done by these companies to accept you. Obviously, if Adidas is ready to invest money, and also Adidas shoes is not only vegan, it's made out of plastic, recycled plastic, right? The shoes is right out there in my room. Otherwise, I would show you as well. So Adidas is making vegan shoes, recycled shoes. Adidas also does a huge campaign by the name Run for Ocean. If in case you want to learn more about it, you can Google. It's called Run for Ocean, wherein I from India, and there are other people as well who run on the ocean. Let's say on the way of the ocean, we collect a lot of plastic. That plastic is used to create recycled plastic shoes out of it. So these companies are totally able to see something in this sustainable business side. That's the reason they're investing so much money into it. And Adidas is not really someone who would invest their money or their time into something which they do not see a business in future, or let's say a really strong PR value, because see, they know that in future people are going to invest into green, and we need to be ready for that. That's the reason we know that Volkswagen or BMW, all of these companies they already have their electric car ready, right? The reason they're not going to put it out on ground as of now, because we do not have the roads first. Second, we do not have the charging facility ready yet. But there are companies who are preparing, who are already replacing their petrol pumps with their charging pumps.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening in India, right? So that's what I can say, that why these companies are investing so much money. Skoda already has a car which is 100% electric. Tesla is out there. Who do not know about Tesla? Volkswagen has it. Now let's forget about these things. You already know MG Motors has a electric car. You already know Mahindra has an electric car. Mahindra has an electric car for over 6 years now.
Yeah.
Right. And there are other companies who Hyundai has an electric car. Right. So there are continuously a lot of companies and it's on ground. MG Motors car is on ground. You can go buy it today, right now. So what are we waiting for? Electric car is here, and vegan shoes are already here. Vegan food is already here. And Bohiko hemp clothing is already practically happening in India, right? So it's not that you have to be a pioneer and create a new law in India to bring hemp on ground. You have to be a pioneer and create your own system for electric charging. It's already there. You just have to start now.
Okay. Akash, so we are going to end now. This is going to be my last question. My last question is going to be, if you were to participate in Red Bull Basement, what would be your tech-based startup idea? You can take some time and think about it. And this is going to be our last question.
No, I have the idea. It's amazing idea.
Please.
If I get to be in a basement and pitch my own idea, I would pitch an idea of data. I would say that I want to become a startup who will have all the data, all the startup, all the other businesses need. Right? So this will put me in a position where I work with all the environmental departments of all the different states and create a data for India. Collect data and bring everything on board, whether it's about air pollution data, whether it's about water data, whether it's about textile waste data, whatever it is. I'm going to just create the data and wait for people when they feel panic. As soon as they start feeling panic, and as soon as the market is not ready to go more ahead with these carbon, let's say, emissions and methane emissions, they're going to need the data and they need to go towards sustainable. And until they have my data, they can't go it. Otherwise, they would have to invest that much money and do their own research and invest time. So what I can do today is sit back on my time, use my time and create data, collect all of these data, and then just wait for the right time when people want to get all of these data. And again, I don't even have to wait. Businesses are already there. And again, see, these business, let's say, for example, someone comes with an idea that, hey, I want to create a vegan brand, or I want to create a, let's say, some company, let's say which company is going to collect all of these carbon out of the air, and I'm going to create something out of it, ink or a cloth or something like that. To run that idea, this guy needs data. This guy needs information practically, which he can rely on, that, yeah, this is 100% true data, and I'm going to work on data. It's all 100% tech. I'm collecting data, I'm providing it on my platform, and I think easily this idea would get a hell lot of PR. Because what I would do is, every month, if I collect, let's say, some huge amount of data, I'm going to leak a little of the data to the media, telling them that, hey, this is what is happening. Every month we'll launch one PR saying that, okay, the air pollution is here, the water pollution is here, this Coca-Cola and Pepsi are emitting this much of carbon, this much of plastic waste. Every month all I have to do is this. I'll create a huge PR and people will know that, hey, these guys have the data, let's go buy them. My advertising cost is zero, my marketing cost is zero. I'm just giving thoda sa free trial version to the PR. Right? And sit on my data, be very strong with my data, and then everyone would come back to us that, hey, we need the data.
Well, Aakash, that's some tremendous business plan. And if you're really planning to work on it, all the best with that. So, yeah, guys, so this was it from Red Bull Basement Launchpad, giving you a little brief about Red Bull Basement. Once again, Red Bull Basement is an event where we have different startups from students come and pitch their tech-based solutions for a better world. And the good ones, the winners from every country, get a chance to go to the global workshop and mentored and funded. Their ideas get mentored and funded by global mentors from Red Bull, and Red Bull helps them implement this plan, their startup plan, on their campuses and beyond. So, guys, what you have to do to enroll for Red Bull Basement is you have to create a 1 minute video explaining your startup idea, and you have to upload it on redbullbasement.com by 25th of October. So this was it, guys. I would like to thank everyone from who attended this. I would like to thank the team behind Pravah for such an initiative from KJ Somaya, and the biggest thank you to Aakash Ranison for being with us. Thank you, Aakash. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
So
you for
this is
inviting.
Manu Joshi signing off from Aakash. Would you like to say anything? Were you saying
Wish you
anything?
wish you very good luck, and please push for it. I would be more than happy. Also, I can give one last offer when you guys are going. If in case any one of you started any kind of sustainable business, I'll do your influencer marketing for free.
Okay, so this is one great opportunity of if any one of you is thinking to start a sustainable startup or already has started some sustainable startup. Thank you, Akash, for being here. Thank you, team from KJ Somaya. Thank you, team Red Bull Basement. This is Manu Joshi signing off. Thank you, everyone.